Hey Polar Bears, Owens here to talk to you guys today about something called conflict resolution or solving your problems in a healthy way. I think a lot of times in middle school, we're really used to solving our problems in unhealthy ways. Maybe that means like fighting it out, using our hands, talking about somebody behind their back, cyberbullying. And I want you guys to know that y'all are capable and it is possible to solve any sort of problem in a healthy and safe way. So the way that I want to describe solving our problems is a way that me and Miss Callie came up with, and it's called walking it out. So walk, W-A-L-K, each letter stands for a different thing that you can do to solve your problems. So the W in walk stands for wait until you're both ready. I think a lot of times what happens is we're so worried about solving our problem that we tend to try and solve it when we're both not ready to do it. And so if I have a problem with somebody and they're not ready to solve it with me, it might be a good idea for me to just say, hey, tell me when you're ready to talk this out and we can talk it out. Because a lot of times, and I'm sure you can relate, we've tried to solve a problem or somebody's tried to solve a problem with us and we're not ready, and it usually just makes our problems worse. So I think a really important thing for us to do is to wait until everybody's ready to talk it out, ready to solve the problem, and respect each other's space when they're not ready. So the A in walk stands for accept the outcome. And Miss Callie actually has a really good story about this, but sometimes our outcomes or what the result of solving our problem isn't always what we truly want. So for example, Miss Callie had a circle with some middle schoolers last year, and the outcome that they came up with was we're gonna agree to not talk to each other for 3 weeks. And this was a group of friends that were super tight, but there was just so much drama going on, so much chisme going on, that it was so much easier to just ignore each other for 3 weeks and try again after we have some space from each other. And what happened was they spent the 3 weeks apart, didn't talk to each other. They were in the same cohort or the same advisory, and they would be friendly with each other, but they weren't going to be friends with each other for 3 weeks. So after the 3 weeks, they realized that they do want to be friends with each other, and they came up with a respect contract of these are how we're going to respect each other if we're still going to be friends. So accepting the outcome, it may mean making a compromise. So agreeing that you're going to meet in the middle about something. Accepting the outcome may mean that you're not going to get what you want. Accepting the outcome might mean we're going to agree not to be friends, even though you still want to be friends, but you know it's for what's for the best. Accepting the outcome might just be we're going to give each other some space and we're going to come back in a little while and see how we feel about each other. The L in walk stands for listen with an open mind. And if you've been in RJ or you've been in a circle with Owens, a lot of the times I say, listen with an open heart or bring your best self. And what that means is listen without judgment and listening to understand what the person is saying. So a lot of times, and I had to really work on this skill, but a lot of times what would happen is I would listen only in my head to while I'm listening to that person being like, okay, what am I going to say back? How am I going to show them that I know more than them? How am I going to defend myself or justify myself? Instead of listening to understand, like, where is my friend coming from? Where are these feelings coming from? And so listening with an open heart means listening without judgment, listening to understand what that person is saying instead of just responding to it, and really trying to be empathetic. So putting yourself in that other person's shoes, trying to understand where they're coming from and understanding where their feelings come from. And the last one is K. So the K means know when to stop. So a lot of times when we're solving conflict, sometimes it can still get heated if we're not 100% ready to talk it out. And maybe we are 100% ready to talk it out, but something goes wrong while we're talking it out. Knowing when to stop means you're seeing that you're getting heated, you're identifying anger triggers, you're seeing your friends getting heated. And the best thing to do in that moment is just to say, hey, I see us both getting pretty upset. Why don't we take a break from each other and we'll come back to this later? And giving yourself some breathing space. And that might mean 10 minutes and then you come back to it. That might mean 10 days and coming back to it. But what it means is a lot of times when we try to solve our problems and it's getting heated, you're just making people upset and it's gonna make it worse. So know when to stop, know when to take a break, know when to pause. And that's how you remember how to walk it out. So when you walk it out, you're waiting until you're both ready, you're accepting the outcome, you're listening with an open heart, and you're knowing when to stop. And that's how you walk it out. while you're walking it out, sometimes what you want to do is you want to create guidelines or circle guidelines, like a lot of the times when we do circles in our classroom or the times when we do circles in RJ, which are really just rules that we're going to follow while we talk it out. And so what a guideline really is, especially when you're solving a problem, is something called a boundary. So it's something that we're going to say is like, this is my line and I don't want you to cross it. I want you to talk respectfully to me and we're not going to cross that. I want you to listen without talking over me and I don't want you to cross that. So I want you guys to think about some circle guidelines that might work for you when you're talking it out with a friend. And remember, solving conflict does not have to mean our problems are going to be solved by putting hands on each other. Our problems are not going to be solved by talking behind each other's back. These ways of trying to solve our problems usually just make our problems worse, because fighting gets you an RJ, you could get ASR, you could lose trust with people and lose trust with your teachers, and nobody wants that to happen to them. And so remember, next time you need to solve a conflict, you're going to walk it out and you're going to set some guidelines so everybody's feelings stay safe and everybody's heart stays safe. That is all I have for you today. I miss you guys and I'll see you next time. Bye.